Also, everyone looks beautiful today. Okay, hi everyone. I'm Saskia. Peers and parents, friends, family, and faculty, welcome to Commencement. When I was given the honor of writing the speech, I knew exactly where I wanted to start. An AI-generated performance of Felix Adler being one less lonely girl at Coachella. Unfortunately, Founders Day kind of took that idea, so I took my next best bet. I consulted our incredible, fearless presidents, Alex and Alexa, on how to address a group as dear as the Fieldston class of 2026. They took me by the hands, looked me in the eye, and said, after 1,378 emails, vending machines will be installed just above the student commons. That's a result of listening to student voices. I thanked them, knowing how hard they worked to heed every perspective, particularly one another's, and thought about that principle of student voice. Suddenly, the ghost of the Fieldston auditorium transported me into a chorus of said voices. The Grease ensemble, that is. I lip-synced, while the Alexes pulled off gorgeous riffs, the Burger Palace boys leaped onto cars, and the Pink Ladies delivered rather timely reflections of what it is to be a high school girl. Joining the cast taught me the true definition of the fateful adage, we go together, da-da-da-da-da, yeah, etc. But as we took our final bows, my mind fixated on the cacophony of cheering peers. Perhaps on our very final day together, they, you, hold the answers of what to say next. Looking at you all now, adorned in cap and gown, I see an oddly rectangular sea of everyone I've loved at Fieldston, of everything you've taught me from the moment I departed California to the precipice of departing this campus. I see Dr. Church, or at least I did somewhere, and imagine him thinking, if I were you, and thank goodness I'm not, his witty quips and plugs of his son's band, Stream Suite 41, bring me back to the engineering lab, a place where Fieldston's most selective varsity team, Rube Goldberg, spent 6 months creating a crazily inconvenient way to open a box. Their teamwork teaches us the power of ingenuity, of problem solving, and combining contrasting viewpoints to reach a common goal. I see Z and Hudson and think about their leadership in the Democrat-Republican Club, of the time the STUFAC erupted into fishbowl discussions, and for a moment, if only a moment, we engage in the rigorous civil discourse requisite to understanding both one another and the world. I see my sister, Paloma, and think back to when we took on Fieldston side by side. Her, a new 9th grader with an outsized rainbow backpack, or a new 7th grader with an outsized rainbow backpack, me, a new freshman with an outsized expectation of what it meant to be a high schooler. Her face was the only one that I could make sense of in our first days here. How lucky are we now to have each other, as well as so many faces that mean so much to us all. The truth is, the beginning of high school, much like the beginnings we're about to embark on, wasn't easy. But observation quickly forged my connection to this community and adoration for it. After all, there has been so much beauty in the everyday at 3901 Fieldston Road. Things like the scratch of Kieran twisting wire into art, Mr. Montera pitching up his octaves to impersonate Raskolnikov, Lulu and Mika's resounding eagle-eye introductions, and art major's bristles concocting meaning from palette. The FIC's chants for equity, captains pulling their teams into pep talks or cheers up, and let's all say it together, F-F-F-I-E, E-E-E-L-T, S-S-S-T-O, and Fieldston. Okay, Charlotte said it, thank you, that was all I needed. Miss Stabina and Miss O.B. feigning surprise when I crashed their advisory for the 5th time that week. Sorry, Dr. Bobo. The hum of conversation on the quad, punctuated by Natalie calling someone's name, or celebration of a truly superb hacky sack round. Jadiel, Han, Aurora, Kai, and so many more in rhythmic dialogue and infinite hallway hellos. These observations constitute our current soundscape. This soundscape will shift the moment that we turn our tassels and celebrate the commencement or beginning of a new chapter. When that happens and graduation shock morphs to bittersweet memory, I urge you to listen to the sounds of the environments you'll become part of. In other words, pay attention. Paying attention and choosing what to allocate your attention to is the best way to exhibit care. If nothing else, we owe this to the world, to one another, and to the places we'll go. Notice the way that life moves around you, the way that you move it. The way the circles of friends whose voices once reverberated through the 500s turn to staticky calls, inviting you to celebrate milestones, career achievements, and change. Notice the way that one 10th grade transcendentalism lesson that always kind of stuck with you urges you to embrace your individuality. Encourage others to do the same. Dedicate yourself to the very art of noticing. But in noticing sounds and sights, do not ever lose sight of your unique voice and capacity to contribute. All 156 of you has something to offer, and getting to know you for you has been a singular gift. As we leave this fiercely guarded senior grass for greener pastures, let yourself be known. You're all too extraordinary not to. Lean into the conversations that make your brain break and skin crawl. Never let quiet... I'll wait for a sec for the plane. Yay, okay. Never let quiet discontent turn into complacency. Read confusing books, watch crazy movies, sprawl your visions across canvases and notebooks and docs, and someday legislation and page one headlines and screenplays, and for our future finance bro contingent, scrupulously crafted pitch decks. I know Dr. Tommy's citation quizzes will serve you all there. And however your wildly distinctive life may play out, once you think you've learned a thing or two, learn that learning is infinitely more exciting than simply knowing. Let's teach, exchange knowledge, take the things that impassion us most, and pursue them in a way that brings others in. More than being great, I ask you all to try and be good. It is up to us to make some good noise and do the ethical thing. Our formal Fieldston education may be over, but in so many ways it starts today. So I suppose time is a tricky old thing, but let's take a second and look around at everything that our time together had to bring. Thank you to my family, our incredible dean, Mr. Drybala, my friends, teachers, countless hallway acquaintances, and everyone in physical and virtual attendance. And congratulations, class of 2026. We did it!